Your next season will not look like your last is a powerful message of hope, faith, and transformation. This speech is about reminding the audience that past struggles do not define future victories. Life often moves through seasons of struggle, waiting, learning, and growth. But just as winter cannot stop spring from coming, your past pain cannot stop your future blessings. This speech carries a strong, passionate, faith-filled motivational style meant to inspire confidence, spiritual strength, and courage to move forward. Friends, I want you to listen carefully tonight, because this message is not just a motivation. It is a declaration over your life. There are people listening right now who feel stuck in yesterday. You have been carrying memories of failures, broken dreams, disappointments, and doors that closed in your face. And sometimes the voice inside you whispers that your story has already been written in pain. But I want to tell you something powerful today. Your story is still being written by grace, not by your past. You have survived seasons that were meant to break you. You have walked through nights where you prayed silently, where tears became your language, where hope felt distant. And yet, you are still standing. That alone is proof that your life is not finished. Listen carefully. Your next season will not look like your last because growth is happening behind the scenes. You may not see it, but something is shifting in your favor. The struggles that once overwhelmed you are preparing you for strength you have never known before. The closed doors that hurt you were not rejection. They were protection. Sometimes what you wanted was not what you needed for your future destiny. There are moments in life when God removes people, situations, and distractions from your path, not because you are unloved, but because your purpose requires a different environment. You cannot carry old burdens into new blessings. New seasons require new faith, new courage, and a stronger identity in who you are meant to be. Maybe you feel like your prayers have been unanswered, but silence does not mean abandonment. Sometimes silence is preparation. Just because you cannot see the work does not mean the work is not happening. Seeds grow underground before they break through the soil. And in the same way, God is working in places you cannot see. I want you to stop measuring your future by your past. Your past was a teacher, not a permanent residence. You were not meant to live in yesterday's disappointments. You were created to walk forward with courage, with faith, and with expectation that something greater is coming. This next season will bring new opportunities. New doors will open that you did not even knock on. New blessings will come at times you did not expect. And you will look back and realize that every tear you cried was preparing you for victory you could not have imagined before. So stand strong, believe again, pray again, because your next season will not carry the same pain. Your next season will carry purpose, peace, and power. And tonight, I want you to leave with this assurance in your heart. Your story is not ending in struggle. Your story is moving toward victory. There are moments in life when you feel that your yesterday is louder than your tomorrow. You may hear voices inside your heart telling you that your mistakes define you, that your failures have written the final chapter of your story. But I want you to listen carefully tonight. Your past does not hold the authority to decide your future. You are not the sum of your mistakes. You are not the product of your disappointments. You are a soul still being shaped by grace, still being prepared for a destiny greater than the storms you have survived. Many people live as prisoners of memory. They replay every wrong decision, every broken relationship, every opportunity they believe they lost. They carry emotional burdens like heavy chains tied to their hearts. But I want you to imagine something tonight. Imagine walking into a new field of opportunity where yesterday's failures cannot follow you. Imagine standing in a new season of life where your past is no longer the voice that speaks the loudest over your future, because there is a truth deeper than your regrets. And that truth is that your life is still unfolding under divine purpose. You survived seasons that were meant to break your confidence. There were nights when you wondered if anyone truly understood your pain. There were moments when you felt alone, even in crowded places. But survival itself is a testimony. The fact that you are still breathing, still hoping, still believing is proof that your story is not finished. The enemy of your purpose wanted you to believe that your past mistakes disqualified you from future blessings. But destiny is not built on perfection. It is built on redemption, perseverance, and faith that rises again after every fall. Think about a farmer who plants seeds in the ground. Once the seed is buried, it does not look beautiful. It does not look successful. It looks hidden, forgotten, and powerless. But deep beneath the soil, life is happening. Roots are growing where no one can see. Strength is developing in darkness before beauty appears in light. In the same way, God is working in areas of your life that others cannot see. Just because people cannot see your progress does not mean your progress is not happening. Your past mistakes do not cancel your future miracles. Sometimes the very struggles that humiliated you were the tools that humbled your spirit and prepared your character. Character is often forged in places where pride cannot survive. Strength is often built in seasons where comfort is removed. You may have walked through seasons of rejection, but rejection was not your identity. It was only a chapter in your journey. Do not allow people to define you by who you were when you were still learning how to live. You are growing. You are changing. You are becoming stronger in faith, stronger in wisdom, stronger in purpose. Your future is not controlled by your yesterday. Your future is waiting for the version of you that has learned from pain but is no longer controlled by it. There is a divine invitation in your life tonight to stop looking backward and start walking forward with courage. Walk forward even when you feel uncertain. Walk forward even when fear whispers that you will fail again. Because your story is still being written, and the chapters ahead are filled with purpose that your past could never destroy. And somewhere ahead of you, there is a life waiting that will prove that your past was only preparation for greater things to come. There are moments when heaven seems silent, and in those moments, many people begin to doubt whether their lives are still moving toward victory. But I want to speak hope into your heart tonight. God is often working in silence before He reveals His power in victory. You may not hear thunder, you may not see lightning, but that does not mean heaven has stopped working on your behalf. Just because you cannot see the hand of God does not mean His hand has left your life. Sometimes the greatest work happens in quiet places, in hidden prayers, in tears that nobody else ever sees. Think about the quiet moments of your life. Those nights when you prayed and felt like your words were reaching empty space. Those mornings when you woke up carrying burdens that nobody knew you were carrying. You wondered if anyone was listening. You wondered if your prayers mattered. But I want you to know tonight that heaven hears every prayer spoken in faith. Even when you feel forgotten, you are never forgotten in the eyes of divine love. Silence is not rejection. Silence is preparation. God is not always loud, but He is always faithful. His timing is perfect, even when your heart is impatient for answers. Many people want immediate miracles, but God often builds lasting victories slowly, just like a tree does not grow tall in a single day. Your spiritual strength is being built through seasons of waiting. Waiting is not wasting. Waiting is training. In waiting seasons, your faith is being strengthened. Your character is being deepened. Your endurance is being tested and refined like gold in fire. You may not like the process, but the process is shaping something beautiful inside your soul. There are blessings that cannot survive shallow faith. They require deep trust, deep surrender, and deep spiritual maturity. You must understand that God is not only interested in giving you blessings, He is interested in preparing you to carry those blessings without losing your faith. There are many people who prayed for success, but were not ready for the responsibility of success. There are many people who prayed for open doors, but were not prepared for the spiritual battles that come with new opportunities. So sometimes God delays what you want because He is building who you need to become. His silence is not absence. His silence is preparation for greater revelation. Look back at your life. You will see moments where you thought you were alone, but later you realized you were being protected. You will see moments where you thought you were losing, but later you realized you were being guided toward something better. The human mind wants immediate answers, but faith teaches us to trust even when answers are not visible. Faith walks forward even when the road is dark. Faith keeps believing even when circumstances feel uncertain. Faith says that God is still working even when circumstances feel broken. There are people listening tonight who feel spiritually tired. You have prayed. You have waited. You have believed. And yet, life still feels heavy. But I want to tell you something powerful. God has not abandoned you in your waiting season. He is working in ways you cannot see. He is arranging events, arranging opportunities, and preparing blessings that will arrive at the right moment. You may feel like you are standing still, but spiritually, something is moving in your favor. Something is shifting in your life, even when you cannot feel it yet. And one day, you will look back and realize that the silence was not empty. It was full of divine purpose, preparing your future. There are times in life when you feel like you are walking through dark valleys, carrying burdens that nobody else can see. And in those moments, many people begin to believe that their closed doors are punishments, that their disappointments are signs that something is wrong with their future. But I want to tell you tonight, with all the conviction of hope and faith, closed doors are not always rejection. Sometimes they are protection. Sometimes they are divine guidance steering you away from dangers you cannot yet see with your human eyes. You must understand something powerful about life. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every relationship is meant to stay. Not every path that looks bright is truly leading toward your destiny. There are paths that shine with temporary excitement, but hide spiritual and emotional danger beneath their surface. And sometimes God, in His wisdom and love, removes things from your life, not because you are unworthy, but because your future requires stronger foundations. You cannot build a strong destiny on unstable ground. You cannot carry great purpose while holding on to things that weaken your spirit. There are people tonight who are still grieving over doors that closed unexpectedly. You thought that opportunity was your breakthrough. You thought that relationship was your destiny. You thought that path was your final destination. But I want you to hear the truth spoken into your heart tonight. What you lost was not your entire future. What you lost was only a chapter. Your story is still alive. Your purpose is still moving forward. The plans of heaven are never defeated by temporary setbacks. Look at the history of human life. Many of the greatest victories were born from moments of disappointment. Many of the strongest characters were shaped in places where they felt rejected. You see, rejection does something powerful inside the human soul when faith is present. It pushes you closer to purpose. It forces you to grow spiritually stronger. It removes pride and replaces it with humility. And humility is often the soil where great destiny grows. You must stop measuring your life by what others have achieved. Stop comparing your journey to someone else's journey. God does not measure success the way the world measures success. The world measures success by fame, by money, by recognition. But heaven measures success by faithfulness, by character, by perseverance in difficult seasons. You may feel like you are moving slower than others, but slow growth is still growth. Quiet progress is still progress. Invisible preparation is still preparation for victory. There are blessings that cannot be received by people who give up too quickly. There are victories reserved for those who keep walking even when they are tired. Keep praying even when answers seem delayed. Keep believing even when circumstances look impossible. Keep trusting even when your emotions feel weak, because faith is not about feeling strong all the time. Faith is about continuing to walk forward when strength feels small. God is not finished with your life. Your story is still being written with divine purpose. And the same God who guided you through past storms is still guiding you toward future victory. So do not lose heart. Do not surrender hope. Do not believe the lie that your best days are behind you. Your future is still filled with purpose, waiting to unfold. And what is coming next in your life will prove that every struggle was only preparing you for something greater. There are moments in life when you feel spiritually and emotionally exhausted, when the weight of life feels heavier than you ever imagined. You begin to wonder if your struggles have purpose, or if your pain is simply random. But I want to speak hope into your heart tonight. Your struggles are not meaningless. Your pain is not wasted. God is not only present in your victories, He is present in your battles, shaping something powerful inside your soul, even when you cannot feel it. You may feel like you are standing in a season of testing, where nothing seems easy, where dreams feel distant, and where progress feels slow. But remember this truth: before any great victory is revealed, there is often a season of preparation that feels uncomfortable. Great destinies are rarely formed in comfort. They are formed in moments where faith is tested, where patience is stretched, and where character is refined like gold purified in fire. The pressure you feel is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to develop spiritual strength that cannot be shaken by future storms. There are people listening tonight who feel like they are being forgotten. You have prayed for change. You have prayed for breakthrough. You have prayed for new opportunities in your life. Yet things still seem unchanged. But I want you to hear this carefully. God is never late. His timing is never accidental. The human heart wants immediate answers, but divine wisdom works according to eternal purpose. Sometimes what looks like delay is actually preparation for something far greater than what you asked for. You must learn to trust God even when life feels uncertain. Faith is not about having all the answers. Faith is about continuing to walk forward even when the path is unclear. Faith is about believing that you are not alone in your journey. Even when circumstances feel overwhelming, heaven is still working behind the scenes. You may not see it yet, but divine arrangements are being made in places you cannot reach with your human understanding. There are battles you have fought in private that others will never know about. There were nights when you cried silently, when your heart felt broken, when you felt like giving up. But you did not give up. And that alone is a victory. Survival in difficult seasons is not weakness. It is evidence of spiritual strength growing inside your life. You are stronger than the struggles you have faced. You are stronger than the fears that once controlled you. Do not allow your mind to become a prison of negative memories. Do not allow past failures to become voices that control your future confidence. You were not created to live in regret. You were created to walk in purpose. Your life has meaning even when circumstances try to convince you otherwise. There is something inside you that is greater than your past mistakes. There is a purpose inside your life that is stronger than your fears. God is still building your future even when you feel like you are standing still. Sometimes spiritual growth happens quietly, like a seed growing under the soil, unseen but alive, slowly pushing upward toward the light. And one day, you will look back at this season and realize that what you thought was hardship was actually preparation for greater blessings, greater purpose, and greater spiritual victory in your life. There are moments in life when fear begins to whisper louder than faith. Fear tells you that you are not strong enough. Fear tells you that your dreams are too big. Fear tells you that your future is already determined by your past mistakes. But I want to speak truth into your heart tonight. You are not defined by fear. You are defined by the purpose placed inside your life by a loving Creator who has never stopped working in your story. Your life is not an accident. You are not here by coincidence. You are here because there is divine intention behind every breath you take and every step you are still able to walk. Many people tonight are fighting battles inside their minds. The human mind can become a battlefield where doubt and hope fight against each other. There are voices from your past telling you that you are not good enough. There are memories trying to convince you that your mistakes have disqualified you from future blessings. But I want you to hear something powerful tonight. Your mistakes are not stronger than grace. Your failures are not stronger than redemption. Your past does not have the authority to cancel the future that God is still preparing for you. Look at your life and remember how far you have come. There were days when you thought you would not survive the pressure of life. There were days when you felt emotionally exhausted, spiritually tired, and mentally overwhelmed. But you are still here. That is not by accident. That is evidence that something stronger than human strength has been sustaining you. You may not always feel strong, but faith is not about feelings. Faith is about continuing to move forward even when emotions feel weak. There are people listening tonight who feel like they are walking through difficult seasons alone. But you are never truly alone. Even when you feel isolated, even when you feel misunderstood, Even when you feel like nobody truly sees your struggle, there is a divine presence walking beside you. Life may bring storms, but storms do not last forever. Storms pass, pain passes, but purpose remains. Do not allow temporary problems to convince you that your life has no meaning. The world often measures success by appearance, by status, by recognition. But true spiritual success is measured differently. It is measured by endurance when life is difficult. It is measured by faithfulness when circumstances are uncertain. It is measured by the ability to keep believing even when you cannot see immediate results. There are dreams inside your heart that you have almost forgotten. Dreams that were buried under responsibilities, disappointments, and pressures of life. But I want to remind you tonight that dreams do not die easily when they are planted by purpose. They may sleep for a season, but they are not dead. Just like the dawn always follows the darkest night, your future is still moving toward light. God is working in your life, even when life feels confusing. You may not understand every chapter of your story, but you do not have to understand everything to keep trusting. Trust is not about knowing every detail of the journey. Trust is about believing that you are being guided even when the road is unclear. There is a future waiting for you that will prove that every tear you cried was not wasted, that every prayer you prayed was not forgotten, and that every struggle you endured was shaping something greater than you ever imagined possible. There are moments in life when you feel like your spirit is standing in the middle of uncertainty, wondering what tomorrow will bring. You may be facing battles that nobody else can see. You may be carrying burdens that you have not spoken aloud to anyone. But I want to speak hope into your heart tonight. God is not only present in your moments of joy. He is present in your moments of struggle. He is present when your tears fall silently on pillows at night. He is present when your heart feels confused and your mind feels overwhelmed by questions that seem to have no answers. You must understand something powerful about faith. Faith does not always remove the storm immediately, but faith gives you strength to walk through the storm without losing hope. There are people tonight who are waiting for life to become easier before they believe again. But faith does not wait for perfect conditions. Faith walks forward even when circumstances are uncertain. Faith keeps trusting even when emotions feel weak. Faith says that God is still working even when life feels broken. You may feel like you are in a season where nothing seems to be moving forward. Your prayers may feel unanswered. Your dreams may feel delayed. Your opportunities may feel limited. But I want you to know something tonight. Delay is not denial. Heaven does not measure time the way humans measure time. What seems slow to you may be perfect preparation in the eyes of eternity. There are blessings that must be prepared before they are delivered. There are victories that must be shaped before they are revealed. Look back at your life. You will see moments where you thought you were finished. You will see moments where you thought your story was over. But you are still here, and that alone is a miracle of grace. You have survived emotional storms. You have survived disappointments that once felt unbearable. You have walked through seasons where hope felt distant. But you kept moving forward. That is not weakness. That is spiritual strength growing inside your soul. There are people tonight who feel tired of fighting invisible battles. Battles inside the mind. Battles inside the heart. Battles against fear, against doubt, against insecurity. But I want to remind you of something eternal. you are not fighting alone. There is a divine strength greater than human weakness that can carry you when you feel too tired to carry yourself. The same power that brings dawn after darkness is still at work in your life. Do not let negative voices define who you are becoming. Do not let past mistakes write the final chapter of your identity. You were created for purpose. You were created for hope. You were created to walk in spiritual freedom, not emotional bondage. The world may try to label you by your failures, but heaven sees you differently. Heaven sees potential. Heaven sees destiny. Heaven sees a life still being shaped by divine love and mercy. There is something beautiful about a life that refuses to give up. There is something powerful about a heart that keeps believing even when circumstances seem impossible. You may not feel strong tonight, but strength is often built in moments when you feel weakest. Character is often built in moments when comfort is removed, and destiny is often revealed in seasons where faith is the only thing you have left to hold on to. God is still writing your story, and the chapters ahead are filled with hope that your eyes have not yet seen. There are moments in life when you feel like you are standing at the edge of something new, yet you cannot fully see what is ahead of you. You feel the stirring of hope inside your heart, but at the same time, you feel the weight of uncertainty pressing against your spirit. And I want to speak directly to you tonight. God is preparing something new in your life. You may not see it yet, but something is changing behind the scenes of your story. Something is moving in your favor, even when your eyes cannot see it and your emotions cannot yet feel it. You must understand that God is not limited by what you have experienced in your past. Many people believe their past defines their future. They carry memories of failure, disappointment, and loss as if those memories are permanent chains around their souls. But I want to tell you tonight that God specializes in new beginnings. He is not finished with your story simply because one chapter has ended. When one season of life closes, it does not mean your life is ending. It means that God is preparing a new chapter filled with purpose, growth, and spiritual revelation. There are people listening tonight who feel like their lives have been filled with long seasons of struggle. You have prayed for change. You have prayed for breakthrough. You have prayed for restoration in your relationships, in your emotions, and in your spiritual life. And yet you still feel like you are waiting. But waiting is not wasted time in the eyes of heaven. Waiting is often where spiritual strength is built. Waiting is where character is strengthened. Waiting is where faith is purified like precious metal refined in fire until all impurities are removed. You must not allow discouragement to convince you that God has forgotten you. Sometimes the greatest work of God happens when life feels quiet, when you cannot hear loud answers. It does not mean God is absent. It means He is working in ways that you cannot yet understand. Just like the sunrise slowly pushes darkness away without noise or violence, God often brings change quietly, gently, but powerfully into human lives. There are dreams inside your heart that you have almost stopped believing in. Dreams that were once bright with excitement, but became buried under responsibilities, fears, and disappointments. But I want to remind you tonight that God does not forget dreams that He has placed inside your heart. Those dreams may feel quiet for a season, but they are not dead. They are waiting for the right moment to awaken again with new strength and new purpose. Your next season will bring opportunities that you did not expect. You may meet people who will help you grow spiritually and emotionally. You may walk through doors that once seemed impossible to open. You may discover strengths inside yourself that you never knew existed, because God is always working to shape you into the person you were created to become, not the person your fears tried to convince you that you were. Do not allow fear to control your future. Fear is powerful only when you allow it to dominate your thoughts. But faith is stronger than fear. Faith says that your life is still under divine guidance. Faith says that your story is not over. Faith says that even when circumstances feel uncertain, God is still moving you toward something greater than you have ever imagined. And tonight, I want you to hold on to hope, because your next season will carry blessings, purpose, and spiritual victory that your last season could never provide. Tonight, as we come to the end of this message, I want you to hold these truths deep inside your heart. Your life is not defined by yesterday's pain, and your future is not limited by past failures. You have walked through seasons of struggle, but those seasons were never meant to destroy you. They were meant to develop you, to strengthen your faith, and to prepare you for greater purpose ahead. God is still working in your life, even when you cannot see the evidence with your eyes. Even when life feels silent, heaven is still moving on your behalf. Do not lose hope. Do not stop believing. Do not allow fear to convince you that your story is finished. Remember that your next season will be different from your last, because you are not the same person you used to be. You have grown stronger through pain, wiser through mistakes, and closer to your purpose through waiting. Walk forward with courage. Pray with expectation. Believe with confidence that your best days are still ahead. There is hope for your future. There is strength for your journey. And there is victory waiting for those who keep faith alive in their hearts. Keep moving forward. Keep trusting and keep believing that God is still writing something beautiful in your life. Amen.